HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Unlike a scripting language that uses scripts to perform functions, a markup language uses tags to identify content. Everything in an HTML document is surrounded by the HTML tag, then followed by the head of the document, which is identified by opening and closing head tags. The head of an HTML file contains all of the non-visual elements that help make the page work. The body tag follows the head tag. All visual structural elements are contained within the body tags such as headings, paragraphs, list, quotes and images. HTML files are text files saved with .html or htm at the end. Because of this you can use any text editor to create your document. We are using CodeWriter, a free software for Windows. We will place a title element within the head section. The title element is important because it is used by search engines and should describe the page. And now a paragraph, enclosed by its opening and closing p tags, within the body section. Browsers automatically add an empty line before and after a paragraph. To add a line break in the paragraph without starting a new one, we will add the line break tag. Not all tags have an opening and closing tag, like the line break tag. This is because you cannot put anything inside of it. It is classed as an empty HTML element. So we close it within the first tag, by placing a slash at the end before the closing bracket. HTML includes 6 levels of headings which are ranked according to importance. These are H1 to H6. You should not use headings just to make the text bigger or bold, because search engines use headings to index the web page structure and content. You can format elements within HTML like the below formatting elements designed to display special types of text. Browsers display strong as B, and M as I. However, these tags have different meanings. B and I define bold and italic text respectively, whilst strong and M suggest that the text is important and search engines will pay special attention to this. You can further format HTML elements with attributes. Attributes provide additional information about an element, and are always specified in a start tag. They appear in the name value pairs. In our example, the value of center indicates that the paragraph within the P element should be aligned to the center. The align attribute of a P tag is not supported in HTML5. CSS should be used instead to format elements. The image tag is used to insert an image. It contains only attributes and does not have a closing tag. The image's URL, address, can be defined using the source attribute. An alt attribute specifies alternate text for an image. This will be displayed if the image cannot be, and is used by search engines to further understand the context of the page. The alt attribute is required. There are different file paths available in HTML. An absolute file path is the full URL to an internet file. A relative file path points to a file relative to the current page. For example, image source equals img.jpg suggests that the image is located in the same folder as the current page. Image source equals images/img.jpg suggests the image is located in the images folder in the current folder. It is best practice to use relative file paths if possible, because when using relative file paths, your web pages will not be restricted to your current base URL. Meaning all links will work on your own computer, your local host, as well as on public domains. To define the image's size, use width and height attributes. The value can be specified in pixels or as a percentage. By default, images have no borders. Use the border attribute with the image tag to create a border around the image. Be warned, by default Internet Explorer 9 and its earlier versions display a border around an image unless a border attribute is defined. You can add links to text or images that will enable a user to click on them and be directed to another file or web page. In HTML, links are defined using the A tag. Use the href attribute to define the link's destination address. The target attribute specifies where to open the link document. Adding a_blank value to your attribute will have the link open in a new window or tab. To create an ordered list, use the OL tag. and then define each list item with the li tag. An unordered list uses the ul tag, with li tags nested within. In HTML, tables are defined using the table tag. Tables are divided into rows with the tr tag. And these rows are divided into columns, table data, with the td tag. Our example is of a table with 1 row and 3 columns. You can add a border to tables using the border attribute. Be warned, the border attribute is not supported in HTML5. Or make a table cell span 2 or more columns using the colspan attribute. To make a cell span more than 1 row, use the rowspan attribute. You can also specify a background color by using the bg color attribute. In HTML, colors can be specified using RGB values, hex values, HSL values, RGBA values, and HSLA values. There are different types of elements in HTML. Most elements are defined as block level or inline elements. Block level elements start from new line. For example, H1 and table elements. Whilst inline elements are normally displayed without line breaks, such as strong and M elements. You can insert inline elements inside block elements. For example, you can have multiple span elements inside a div element, but inline elements cannot contain block level elements. The form element is used to collect information from the user. The action attribute specifies where the backend script is located to process that data. The method attributes specify the HTTP method get or post to be used when the form is submitted. When using get, the form data will be visible in the page address. Post is the preferred method as it offers better security because the submitted data is not visible in the page address. To take user input, you need to use from elements such as the input element. Type text allows the user to type in any text. Type password will hide the user's input, like all password boxes typically do. Type radio allows the user to select only one of a number of choices. Type checkbox allows the user to select more than one option. The submit button submits a form to its action attribute.